Good morning, traders. Today is the 16th of August. This is Brad Matheny. This is the Plan Your Trade video for Friday, the end of the week. Next week, we're looking pretty interesting here. If you take a look at what we're moving into at the end of the week, we are currently in our inside breakaway pattern right here in trending mode, which, in fact, let me show you the current one here. So the biasing system has turned into bullish on the daily a couple weeks back. Short-term trend is bullish. We're still in explosive trending, and carryover trend or long-term trend is in bullish mode. We are in an inside breakaway pattern here, the gray in trending mode. We're back up to 553. Remember, we were down in the what were we down in the 50 something, 502? We were pretty low. 510 roughly is our lowest point. So we've shot up 40 points, about 9% over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 days. We are currently trading at 550.77 pre-market, down 0.5% or 0.4%. We had this huge gapping breakaway day yesterday on data. Now, my concern is, as I mentioned to my followers and my subscribers, is that we are going to see a rolling price trend. Price does not go up. Look at this here. Price does not go up straight up like this every day. This is a very unusual type of bottom. I've highlighted it before. You can see it right here. Try to make it a darker red. This is a deep V bottom. We have literally collapsed in 3 days. We've gone down here. It wasn't a massive percentage, but it was still substantial. 7.5% we went down in 3 days. Then it took us again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days to move higher, and that has gone up a little over 8%. So understand that this is a very solid deep V bottom. It may end up turning into a inverted head and shoulders formation. So understand that as we come over here and we establish the right side shoulder, we may do something like this. Here is the left side shoulder right there. So you have left side shoulder, deep V head coming up here to possibly right side shoulder. So where would the right side shoulder look right now? Well, given this gap, given the fact that we're up near this 553 level at the end of yesterday's trading, kind of makes sense here that we're going to be looking at a shoulder setup, a rolling shoulder over the next couple of days. Maybe filling the gap, maybe ending up back down into this 544, 545 area, maybe a little bit lower down here in this area here. Okay, moving a little line. There we go. Maybe back down in this area here eventually, but really looking at this area here, 544 to 543 roughly, trying to hold in this area for the right shoulder before attempting to move higher. So where we're at right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to urge you, markets do not go straight up. Markets, this is very unusual types of activity. Yeah, we could see it go all the way up to here. But in reality, markets typically roll into up and down price trends. We haven't seen a big roll except for right here. We haven't seen a big roll in a while. And I'm going to just urge you today that I'm warning you that I think that we could be in for a surprise little roll here for 2 reasons. Okay. Number one, watching the dollar climb, we could see a little bit of weakness in the dollar, could send the stock markets reeling a bit downward. Dollar back up at 103 here is very solid. But secondarily, I want you to be aware here that gold is starting to make a rippy move. So understand, gold is starting to rip very strongly to the upside. This is that flag apex I told you guys about yesterday. and the day before, and the day before, the day before. This is a big move, and this is going to be a move up to at least 25.50. Now I'm starting to think we're going to be looking at 26.20 here with gold. That'll be a $100 move. But gold ripping like this can happen on a day when the dollar is weaker. Can also happen on a day when the dollar is stronger. I need you to understand that this is a second leg of the move that I talked about. So if you follow my research back over here and get rid of this, somebody keeps adding me to these groups. If you come over here and you take a look at it, I did a video yesterday. So come over here. Gold Ripper rally set for 816 into 820. Well, today's 816. Looks like the Ripper rally was perfect. Then I had a previous update for gold back down here. I cover gold every morning, but coming down here to the second item, I covered BTC. Here we go. Plan your trade for 8.7. Huge dual leg rally setup. And this was what, 8. Today's the 16th, so this was about a week ago. And I called this move back when gold was trading very low compared to where we're at right now. Gold was trading down in the 2400 area. And this dual leg rally was an incredible call. I mean, it was just beautiful. You could see what I drew here. Up to about 2,500, just below 2,500, pausing out. And you can see here, pausing out until this rotating flag here around the 14th or the 15th before moving higher. Or 1 day off, just 1 day off based on the SPY cycle patterns. And it was just incredible. So let me go back here to the first page, come back over here. So here we go with gold. 25.42, 25.24 and a half, breaking up to almost actually at new highs now. This is the Ripper rally. I mean, this is a beautiful Ripper rally. Now, how high can it go? It's tough to call. I mean, we have a very solid move here. And again, my upper target, we're already above the 618 level. And I would expect we're going to go to 25.56, but I don't expect we're going to see that move happen right now. Let's go back down here to 30 minutes. Spread this out. Someone asked me how far I think it's going to go, and the easiest way for me to do that would be to take a look at something like this, from this rejection point to this rejection point, back down to this low. And we're already above the 618 and the 1 and the 1.5. And you can see where we're at here. We are just ripping. This is no other way to put it. This is a Ripper rally. And I would probably say that we could end up in the, let's call it 25.30. I mean, we're almost there. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm going to be 250, 325, 25.60. I mean, we could hit 25.50 today. This could be a big Ripper rally in gold. It's just building massively. But I'm going to guess that, 25. I'm going to guess that 25.30 to 25.38 seems reasonable. It's a good Ripper mode, but understand that in my opinion, I think we're going up to in reality, like 26.20. So where do I think it's going to end today? Boy, I wish I really knew. I'll just tell you, probably 25.50, just below 25.50. So 25.40 to 25, call it 45. And that's probably about as high as I think gold is going to go. If gold rips up to 25.50 today, then there's going to be a lot of attention paid to gold and metals. In fact, let's take a look at what silver's doing real quick. Silver's stalling out a little bit, not seeing the same type of move. Remember, it's really dependent on what's going on with the dollar and hedge demand. But silver's got to get above this 29.35 level, 29.30. If it can't get above that level, then it's going to really struggle to make a move. But this move here in gold is rock solid. I mean, in my opinion, in my opinion, this move is just rock solid in gold. And I think we're going to be moving up into that, like I told you, into that 20. Let me spread this apart, drag this down. I really think we're going to be moving up into that 2630, 2650 area throughout an extended rally. You can see here I've got this 2600 area particularly mapped out, but I've got this other area mapped out here. And, you know, the 1.5 level is 2623. And that seems like a really solid number. 2690 up at the 2.0 level. So my advice is that we're going to have to look for resistance right around this 2544, 2538 level. That would be the next major level of resistance. So call it 2531, 2538, 2544. Those are the next major target areas to the upside, which will likely be resistance. But gold, you know, is this the biggest move we've ever seen in gold today? No, not even in a long shot. Is this a substantial move up, a breakout of the flag? You betcha. Could we move up another percentage point, another 40, 50 bucks today? Yeah, actually we could. So we just got to see how it rolls today. Great call. Just, you know, if you understand what I'm doing here for gold, just beautiful calls and predicting what's going to happen and this move in gold. I mean, just nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Okay, so we go back to the SPY. Like I said, I think the rally in gold is going to put a little moderate pressure on the U.S. stock indexes today. We need to watch the U.S. dollar and we need to watch the data. The data came in fairly strong yesterday. But again, what is the rally in gold sharing with us? That foreign traders are hesitant, are fearful. Okay? Strong U.S. dollar, strong U.S. economy, no relief from the Fed, potentially decoupling global markets. What are foreign traders going to be doing? They're going to be moving their capital away from localized currencies, hedging into gold and silver and Bitcoin and anything else they can get their hands on. And at the same point in time, they're going to be trying to chase the US dollar and the US dollar based assets. If this is a move that is relative to this head and shoulder formation that I've drawn here, you can see the neckline right across here. You can see this inverted head and shoulders formation. Then we might be looking at a bit of a rotation here. Okay. And yeah, I've drawn it out here in the future, but in reality, it could be more like this. It could be a kind of a right shoulder setup right now that maybe rolls down into the 530, 532 area, trying to set up a shoulder and then rallies back out of it. So we need to see where we're at right now, and we need to see how this is playing out. We're very high up here into these areas, 552, 553. Would not be surprised to see a gap come down and fill this over the next week or two, moving into the right shoulder, then moving higher into an expansion rally closer to early September. Okay, so I'm going to just leave it there as we get started. Today is the Inside Breakaway. Oops, let me go to this one. Is the Inside Breakaway in bullish trending. My suspected outcome is that we're going to stay moderately weaker. We may see a move at the end of the day a little bit higher, maybe trying to get up into 554, 555 and a half area. I think the biasing trend is still to the upside. It's setting up a beautiful vortex rally. And again, I got a call from my friend yesterday. Anyway, he just likes giving me crap. So anyway, you guys got 30 years experience in the market. I've known him for a while. Good guy, but just funny. He just, likes to call me. He called me yesterday. He's like, I bought into this vortex rally and I leveraged the farm and I margined everything and and it just didn't work out for me. And I'm just laughing at him. He's talking about this move right here collapsing. And I told him, well, if you held it, you would have made a fortune. And he's like, well, yeah. He goes, I'm just giving you crap. But it's, we talked yesterday about the markets, and he does agree. He thinks that the markets are going to continue to move higher, just like I do. And a guy with 30 some years experience like me, I started in the late 80s and 90s. You figure it out. 90 to 2000, that's 10 years. To 2010 is 20 years. To 2020 is 30 years. So I basically have 35 years of studying the markets. We've seen a lot, but if you can come back here, just to give you an example, when I started trying to figure out what was going on in the markets, this will give you an example. Chasing the rabbit hole. You want to learn about chasing the rabbit hole? Here you go. So when I started trying to figure out what was going on in the markets, it was right here. My first time trading was in 1986, 85. So basically right there. The Dow Jones historically was at, call it 1400. Okay. And by the time I got involved in the industry trying to write code was 1990. And the Dow Jones was 2700. Now we're up at 40 grand. So yeah, I've lived through all of this, all of this, all of this, all of this, all the way up, the dot-com bubble, the collapse afterward, the 9/11 attack, the post-rally phase, the global financial crisis, the bottom, the rally phase. And I really started doing my research and calling all of this right over in this phase. Prior to this, all I did was programming. Okay, and still do a lot of programming. But now I started doing this, which is where my research came in after this base bottom. And you can see, my job is to try to tell you what I see and then let you make decisions. And what I see is a vortex rally. I see the market setting up into what I call a vortex rally phase, which, you might not see it now, but I'm seeing the markets moving into this vortex rally. And you can see what the vortex rally kind of looks like. Imagine what the Dow Jones is going to look like up here when we get up into this 80 grand area and people are saying, well, I never expected it would get up to 80 grand, Brad. Yeah, I've been trying to tell you it's going to get up to 80 grand or higher for the last 2.5 years. So pay attention to what I'm telling you. This is more than likely what we're looking at. And then we're going to watch some sort of a market collapse. This is really, when you get right down to the longer term picture of the market, this is really a very big expansion of global credit phase. Remember, when I started in the industry, going over to Asia was back in this area. And Asia was really just blossoming and building. It took everything through this 10, 15-year time frame for us to move into this massive global credit expansion phase. And that money is still trying to find a home. Really, it's trying to find a purpose and a home and a use. And that's why I think that we literally could double between now and 2031, 2030. So I'm going to let this stay, and then we're going to go back over here, go back here. Yeah, look at that SPY chart. Looks just as ominous. And we're going to come back over here, try to get this auto scaling. And there we go. So I would urge everyone that, again, as I mentioned to you, I'm going to do it again in short-term constructs on the SPY. We need to watch this 549 area. I mean, I could pick a higher area up here, but I mean, here, let me just do this. I'll leave this here, 549, and then in reality, possibly this 550 and a half area. The reason being is if we get down below this area with some substantial trending, we need to defend this area. Otherwise, we could see something move into and try to fill this gap today. So be aware, we need to find support above 549. Otherwise, we're at risk of filling this gap and moving a bit sideways. Remember, gold is just ripping right now. So we need to kind of pay attention to what gold is doing and what the foreign markets do. We could have a very interesting closing price activity. Remember, we're at 551 right now. We're finding some support, but like I said, we do need to hold above this level. If we get into this gap area right here, there's a good chance we're going to roll downward and try to fill this, setting up the beginning of the right shoulder over here. Okay, that's it. Talk to you later.